Okay, I'm going to do my daily review. I had a horrible day today. It was just terrible. But hopefully I learned from it. Okay, on the daily ES, let's see. I drew this line here, which represented this little dashed line, which represented the bottom of that consolidation we had here. Um, Once we started heading up, I was thinking we probably would go here. So, otherwise, let's see. We didn't quite get to the bottom. This is ES. We didn't get to the bottom before we started, which is like this last low. We didn't quite get there before we started heading up. Let's see. As far as RSI, we got below the 40 on the daily. Now we're really just at the 40. So let's see. We didn't quite get to the 5 EMA, but we may be shooting to get there. I'm not sure. All right. All right. Let me get into this horrible day. I mean, it could have been worse, but it was terrible. Anyway. All right. So we started the day off on the hour, just looking at the hour. I was only supposed to be looking at for shorts at the beginning of the day. Now, so if I were just trading, okay, if I was just trading the hour, this red candle just went down. This was the 8 o'clock candle, I'm pretty sure. So it closed below the 5 EMA, but then we just start heading right up at the end of this candle. And we continued up with this candle, and we closed above the 5 EMA. Okay, with this one, I could have taken a short, which I did. I got a really quick scalp short when we got because we were dropping below the 5 EMA, and I took a short on the 5-minute. This one we closed above the 5 EMA, but still we don't have the bullish cross yet. And we got to the 20. This is just look at the hour. We got to the 20 and we just chopped, and I got 8 up in this chop right here. And then after we chopped, we had this big green candle. We came down a little bit. We didn't quite get to the 5 EMA, and we got up to the 50 EMA. And this candle here confirmed the bullish cross. I don't know if the 50 is going to serve as resistance, because it's pretty much at that bottom of that consolidation that I pointed out on the daily, which is this little dashed line. So basically, if I were just trading the hour, which I need to start doing, I would have just had the one short that I took early using a 5-minute. But let's go to 5-minute. All right, yeah, so I took this short. Right here, we see the cross of the 5 EMA and the 20 EMA. This candle confirmed it, this red candle here. It confirmed that cross, bearish cross down when it finished. And then we came back up to the 5 EMA and came back down. And I just took I don't remember when I got in. I think I got in right here, which was the bottom, this bottom. So when I saw we came back up, I got in here and I took a scalp here, and I was up $350 on ES. And I ended up being down 700 and something on ES, I believe. Let's see. And I'll show you where I got chopped out. I was supposed to be done because my max, I paid for not, following my own rules. My max profit was 300. I had 350. I should have stopped. But I wanted some extra cash. So I put a line here. I had a line which was when we broke out of the 200. We didn't close, but we poked out of it. So I had a line at the top that was the top of this candle. And I was like, if we close above it, come back down, come back up, then I'll get in. So I got in, where did I get? I got in somewhere here. Oh, no. I don't remember what I did. I forgot to wait for the pullback. When we closed above this, I got in at that level and we pulled back, which I should have waited for the pullback. Wasn't thinking, and it stopped me out. So I got in right here at the top of this candle at that line. It closed above it and I just jumped in instead of waiting for the pullback, which is my strategy. I literally just didn't think about that. And so I got stopped out. So then I got stopped out again because, let's see what happened. We went up again. So I'm like, okay, I got to get back in. I got back in like around, I don't know, like here, a little above the 200. We shot up and then we came right back down. And we didn't hit my target that I was hoping that we got to this line here, which was the highs of, I guess it could be London's high. So that's what I was shooting for. So I had my target there. I got in a little above the 200 and then right here, I'm sorry. I got in a little bit above the 200. We didn't make it there and we came down. I got stopped out again. So that was a bad day. So, but anyway, let's see. So I was done with ES after that one. But if I were to continue, and let's see where I went wrong. Firstly, I forgot to wait for this pullback. Yeah, I wanted to see it close over here, but I always want to wait for a pullback. Once I got the pullback, this was a good trade to take, but I needed a better stop because I should have placed my stop below the 20-day moving average instead of having it so high up. So I probably had it under the last candle. And so I lost on that one and we eventually went up. And this is a problem I need to take care of as far as putting bigger stops. But anyway, so that would have been a good trade if I had a bigger stop. And we had a few times we hit the 5 and could have taken that up, scalps up. We had a close under the 5, and then we had a close over the 5. That could have been taken long. And all of these could have been taken long, but the one thing, and the reason why I shouldn't have been taking it, because those were B setups. It wasn't a A setup because this hadn't crossed. I wasn't supposed to take longs for a trade until this candle closed, because that's when we got the confirmation. So they were B setups, and I don't mind taking B setups just off the 5-minute, just if they're just not the highest probability trades. And I should have stuck with my highest probability trades because it was the last day of the month. So I'm losing on the last day of the month, the last day of the quarter. I was excited with what I had. I mean, it wasn't a big deal, but still. And basically, we got back up to that line, which was the bottom of that consolidation. We got a little bit higher, which was probably around the 50-day moving average. And we're starting to come down a little bit, but we could go back up. All right, so NQ. Let's see, go to the daily. Oh, right. Okay, so NQ actually made a lower low on the daily. I didn't even realize that. We made a lower low on the daily. And we come up. We're nowhere as bullish as ES. We haven't even gotten to nowhere near the 5 EMA. We're not at the 40 RSI yet. We're still under the 40 RSI on the daily. So ES is looking a little bit more bullish than NQ. All right, let's go to the hour. Now, I did win a trade on the NASDAQ. And I wanted to win another one, but I'll get into that one. So that was another problem, something else that made me angry. All right, look at the hour. For me and my strategy, let's see. Once we had a close above the 5. Once we got below the 5 EMA, I could have looked on the 5-minute for shorts, which is similar to ES. Let's see. Then we started heading up. We got a close above the 5. It's just like ES. And then we consolidated right here, which is where I got chopped out on ES. And this candle closed above the 20. I'm not opposed to, like, if it's closed above the 20 and then came back to the 5 EMA, that's actually a good trade. It didn't quite get there, so. But this candle, this red candle, just like ES, I'm sorry, this green candle, just like ES, confirmed this cross. And at this point, I only should be looking for longs if I'm taking an A plus setup. All right, 5 minute on NQ, the NASDAQ. All right. So just like ES, this was where I could have gotten in short. This candle confirmed the cross, the bearish cross with the 5 under the 20. Here, we came back up. Didn't quite get to the 5 EMA, but it would have been a decent scalp short, which is what I took on ES. We were below. With ES, I got in at London's low. We were way past London's low with this candle. With NQ, we were a lot more bearish with NQ. All right, now another trade, I could have taken a scalp short here. We got a red candle closed below the 5 EMA. We came back above the 5 EMA, could have got in at the 5 EMA, and that would have been a decent scalp as well. Okay, now let's see. The trade I took on NQ was, let's see. Let's see. But anyway, we crossed week. This was like the ES. I was waiting, should have been waiting for a close above this and then the pullback. So my first trade, I think it was this one because they kind of look similar, but it was about the time. I got in like here and I had a decent scalp long to here. And then we came back. Yeah, this was it. Yeah, I had this drawn. I put it a little bit higher, but it was supposed to be where we broke the 200, and I wanted to see a closure over that and then a pullback. And we got this pullback, and I got in when we got back to that level for a long, and that was good. But then we came back down, so I wanted another long, and it was pretty funny. It got here. It closed kind of above the 5 EMA. I wanted to get in long. So I'm getting in long. I made a mistake and I didn't get NQ, the mini. For some reason, I got the micro, MNQ. And I was like, why isn't my P&L going up? And I was like, oh man, I got MNQ. So I got out immediately. And by the time I got back, tried to get back in NQ, we were already up here, which was my target. So I let that go, and I just let the day go. I was tired at that point, and I ended up being like almost $400 down. So that wasn't good. And what's bad about it is I was $350 up, so that sucked. Let's go to GC. All right, GC is just continuing to move up. Yeah, I mean, that's nothing else to say. It's just we can just continue to move up. The RSI is pretty up there, almost near 80 on the daily, and we're continuing to move up. I didn't really trade GC today, so I'm just kind of watching it, just kind of seeing it right now. Let's see. What happened here? All right, so we didn't get higher than London's high. I had put that there early in the day. But if I'm just trading the hour, let's see what I would have had on my setup. We had a closure below the 5 EMA. I could have got in long here at the 5 EMA to here, which would have ended up being a good trade. Or I could have, yeah, see, this kind of went sideways. This was actually a terrible day to trade gold. Let's look at the 5 minute. Yeah. I had pretty much lost my steam with the ES and NQ, so I really didn't pay any attention to gold. But yeah, that one long here that I just pointed out on the hour was pretty much it. I mean, otherwise we just went sideways with gold. So if I had traded gold, I would have got chopped up probably. Let's see. You had this. Yeah. I would have just got chopped up. Gold was pretty hard to day trade today. The intraday motion was just terrible. We didn't make a higher high than this. We made a lower low. We made a low lower than London. We came down here, got way down here. But we didn't like pull. Once we came back up, we didn't pull back down. So that was gold. It was pretty difficult to trade gold today on an intraday. But as far as swinging gold, obviously this would need to break. You'll want to see a break over that because that's been resistance for a while before you would go long. And it's not showing any indication of a short where it's going down. There's nothing there. It barely wants to stay under the 200 on the 5 minute. It was support here. So, yeah, gold sucked today. All right, and let's see. Crude. I did not look at crude. I looked at gold maybe like once that morning, but I didn't look at crude at all. And let's see. On the daily, yeah, we closed. Well, we did good. We closed above the 50-day moving average. Could be heading up to this 200. I know yesterday on my review, I didn't think that we were going to go short. I found that interesting how we came back to the 50. And a lot of times if we get above the 50, especially considering we hadn't broken it in a long time, we'll go back to the 50 and retest it before going up. So, and since we hadn't closed below the 20, I was more leaning that we were going to go back up. But anyway, just trading the strategy, which I never do on the daily, which I should start doing. We had a close below the 5 EMA. This was just it. Yeah, I mean, this was, if I'm looking on the daily for a swing trade, I mean, I suppose if we broke here, no, I would want to see a break on the 50, but yeah, we did good on crude today. If you're someone trading crude, probably did much better than I did. But anyway, we were bullish at open. The 5 was above the 20. So this line here was resistance, previous resistance, and we did close above the 5 here. This is just looking at the hour. We closed above the 5 actually with this candle, which just looks like the 6 o'clock candle. I don't really trade that early, but if I were trading that early, it would have been the time for me to get in. This one closed even more above the 5 EMA, and then we had a pullback, and this was the 8 o'clock, so it's probably 8 o'clock pullback if I look at the 5 minute. But basically, all I should have been looking for is long setups on the 5 minute. With the way this was looking, I only should have been looking for long setups on the 5 minute. Would have been good if I waited for this candle to break and close and then just got in here. And that still would have been a great trade. You got a lot of movement from just there instead of trying to search for the bottom, and just got reassurance with this hour candle closing above that resistance level, which is pretty good assurance that we're probably going to go up a little bit more. But let's look at the 5 minute. Oh, wow. Yeah, we just ran. It was just all gas, no brakes. Got in at open. Let's see. At open, we had this first red candle. Then we got this green candle. And see, this is one where I would have messed up because we got this green candle. And if I have gotten in here, I would have needed to put my stop lower and I would have gotten it. But this is one of the things I would have probably gotten stopped out of, because I probably would have, if I got in here, I probably would have put my stop here somewhere above the 50 and would have got stopped out. So I gotta think on doing that differently. The only thing is that we hadn't broke above this. It probably would have been best that I had waited until we closed above this. But just going with for my 5-minute strategy, with the close above the 5 EMA after being below it, I like to get in somewhere right here, where it's like around the 5 EMA or the 20 EMA. I just need to put a bigger stop. But anyway, the smarter thing to do would have been to wait until this closed. And when we, this candle was right around the 5 EMA, as long as you're near it, and that would have been a really amazing trade if you held. Yeah, it was pretty much, crude was pretty much boring today. If you got in long here, or got in long once we broke this, it would have just been an all long day. Great. That's it. Let's see. Well, just let me see. Let me look at crude again. And I want to see the daily. Yeah, so as far as crude, tomorrow I'm going to look at crude tomorrow and see if we get overnight. Who knows, we may get to this 200. Because that's where I would predict crude could go. We may have a retracement down first, but I think we can probably go here to this 200-day moving average. But I've committed myself, new month, new quarter. I had my best quarter. And I did have my best month, but now I don't have my best month. But I still have my best quarter yet. And tomorrow, new month, new quarter, I'm going to try to commit myself to take only the A+ setups off the hour and set bigger stops. That's my goal for next month, is to take only A+ trades off the hour and set appropriate stops and hold to my target. So that's the end of this month and this quarter.